Well, good morning and welcome to Vision. I'm so glad you're all here. Hope you're enjoying a festive holiday season. I see reindeer antlers and hats and pajamas. It's going to be, that makes it kind of seem like it's going to be a pretty fun day. So we have lots to celebrate. Let's stand together and do that. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Where's your jingle bells? It's Christmas, the whole world rejoices. Let's lift up our voices and be of good cheer. It's Christmas, the angels are singing, the bells are ringing, that Christmas is here. It's Christmas, the whole world rejoices. Let's lift up our voices and be of good cheer. It's Christmas, the angels are singing, the bells are ringing, that Christmas is here. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus the Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, that Jesus the Christ is born. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. It's Christmas, the whole world rejoices. Let's lift up our voices and be of good cheer. It's Christmas, the angels are singing, the bells are ringing, that Christmas is here. That Christmas is here. Christmas is here.
Good morning, Vision. How are you? Great. Can you see me? This is Reverend Diane. Hi. This is not Reverend Diane. How is everybody? Oh my God, this is too funny. Let's pray. I give great thanks for this day, for everything that it is, for the wonder of life itself. Knowing we come together to remember who we are and whose we are, that we are the divine outpicturing of the beloved that has sought and found a way to know of itself in form. And we know that all form is some part of the life of spirit. The very earth that we walk upon is holy ground. It is the body of God. So we know everything, everyone, all life, everywhere is some part of the one life of God's. We give great thanks for this. We recognize it in ourselves and in each other. We know there is only one life. It is God's. It is whole, perfect, and complete just as it is. And it is our life right here and right now. And so it is. So let's see, what can I tell you? I feel like Edith Ann. Remember her in the big... Anyway. We have practitioners here who know the truth for us. They pray with us and for us all year. I'd love for the practitioners and ministers, raise your hands. Yay, look at all of these beautiful souls. They do the work of knowing the truth for us, and they facilitate change in our lives, and we can do the same. You know, Ernest Holmes said we're all practitioners, only some of us get licensed. So do that. Be that practitioner in your own life and know the truth and do your prayer work. And when it's difficult for you or challenging or you can't get there, that's when you call your practitioner, right? We have practitioner phone numbers right on the back of that prayer request form. Write one down, call one, have a practitioner on your speed dial. It's so important. Get prayer when you forget. That's what it's for. Someone once said it was like being stuck inside of a cardboard box, and the instructions on how to get out of the box were printed on the outside of the box. And that's when you call your practitioner. They read the directions for you. And then you get out. See, that's how it goes. Then we know truth. So please do that. Call your practitioner whenever. Even when things are great, right? When everything is terrific and wonderful, what is the prayer? Thank you, more please. Right? Thank you, more please. So do that. Also, I have a welcome packet here. It tells you all about Vision, a Center for Spiritual Living, who we are, how long we've been around, how long Centers for Spiritual Living has been around, and take one. Find out all about us. If you already know all about us, if you're already a member, take one and give it to a friend and let them experience transforming their lives through this practical spirituality. It works. You know it works. I know it works. Let's say it together, the greeting on the front, so we just reinforce it. You ready? Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. Yay. And so now that you're in the welcoming mood, go welcome somebody alongside of you. Say, welcome to Vision. Welcome, my dear. And now I'm going to turn it over to our choir director, James Vandenberg, and the celebration singers are going to sing our centering song to prepare us for our 5-minute meditation. Take it away.
Hello again. My name is James Vandenberg. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at Vision, and today it's my honor and privilege to be with each other in community during this time of meditation and affirmative prayer. So please allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of our 5 minutes of silent meditation, and take these quotes into the silence with you. Our first quote comes from Robert Farrar Capon. Every real thing is joy. if only you have eyes and ears to relish it, a nose and a tongue to taste it. And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, the study of the science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of all creation, the thing itself. The memorial candle is shining brightly today for Vernice Hammond, dear friend and second mother to Vision member Dee Cannon. Vernice made her transition this past week. So know with me again the continuation of life. Vernice has transitioned. She's moved into her next expression of her divine self. And what we know for those of us that were connected to her in this plane, know with me that comfort, peace, love, support is the divine truth of their being, that they are supported, loved, and filled and surrounded and immersed in divine peace. Staying in this meditative state, I ask you to do one thing before we move into our prayer, and that's just probably the most challenging thing about affirmative prayer. Let go. Let go of all consideration and speculation about the conditions. Let's give that law of mind something new to work with today. And we remind ourselves of the allness and oneness of God, spirit, life, love, peace, and harmony, that there is one life, one mind, one presence, one substance, one activity. And it is always in the activity of demonstrating the reality of itself as peace, as love, as harmony, as abundance, as joy and freedom and wisdom, always flowing into form and experience of greater expressions of itself. And I know that I am one with this one. I am of it, I am in it, I am a center of that divine life expressing into this moment. A center of divine harmony, divine peace, divine love, and freedom expressing into this experience. And just as I know that's the truth of my being, I know it's the truth of all life everywhere, that each one is a center of divine life expressing into the conditions of their life. And you know, in a way, that's all we need to know. That's all I need to know about you or me or anybody else, is that God, spirit, life is all in all. And I am one with that. I am a center of that one. And so I have absolute confidence in announcing health and wholeness and balance and harmony of body, mind, and spirit. For spirit already is that. And so I am knowing health and wholeness, demonstrating itself in and through and as each one. I know that disharmony is absolutely no part of the divine pattern. So I know it's no part of the divine pattern of my life or my experience. I know it's absolutely no part of the experience of anyone else, for each one is a center of divine life. I know that spirit lacks for nothing, denies itself nothing, and there can be no absence of any good that we desire, that anyone desires in that divine life, and each one is a center of that. So I'm knowing abundant supply, prosperity, needs met, bodies healed, relationships restored to joy, for that's the truth of spirit as and in and through each one. So I accept healing, wholeness, restoration on behalf of all of us. My knowing is cause to this experience, And I absolutely know it to be the truth of each one's being, and I know Spirit knows full well how to show up and demonstrate that in each life. So I say yes to Spirit's already saying yes. I say yes to that greater expression of divine life as each and every one of us. And I give thanks that that's the truth. I give thanks that Spirit already is in the operation of demonstrating the truth of itself. And what I'm knowing is that each one of us, each one is a place where that is allowed to happen boldly and freely and joyfully. I accept it done. I accept it complete. And I give thanks. I give thanks for this demonstration of God as each one. I give thanks for all the things that go into making vision, and how harmony is demonstrating itself today in so many ways. I give thanks for the demonstration of good. And I release, I let go, I take the human hands off, knowing it complete, knowing it done and in operation right now. And so it is.
It's a festive time of year, and we have Ria Carey here to envelop us in Christmas cheer.
So in 1963, the Cuban Missile Crisis had happened, and this lovely couple, this married couple, decided to write a song. The doomsday clock was the closest it had ever been to 12 o'clock, and they wrote this song as a call to peace. On November 6, 1963, President John F. Kennedy, I get emotional. President John F. Kennedy was killed in Texas. And Bing Crosby's release date was supposed to be November 6th. And there was discussion about maybe we shouldn't release it because this has happened, and Bing Crosby said no. If anybody would have wanted this song released, it would have been President Kennedy. And so I present you. Do you hear what I hear?
Said the night into the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star
I am here to introduce Reverend Diane Russell, a woman who once convinced a room full of people she could speak fluent dolphin. By day, I don't know if you know this, by day she is a high-powered CEO, a secret ninja, and a part-time wizard. By night, she moonlights as a professional ice cream taster and an undefeated champion of karaoke. She once survived a week in the wilderness, armed only with a pack of gum and a hairpin. She can juggle flaming swords, bake a 5-tier cake, and solve complex math equations simultaneously. And when she's not saving the world, she's off training for her next big adventure or teaching squirrels how to use smartphones. She is a superhero in disguise, but don't worry. She still has time for coffee and a chat with you about your latest Netflix obsession. Now, none of this is true. However, when I asked her how she would like to be introduced, she said, "Oh, just make up something, it'll be okay." So I did. Reverend Diane has the heart and the compassion of a minister. She is deeply committed to her profession, and her love for this community drives her. She is that unique individual, practitioner, minister who can always be depended on. She shows up and she suits up and she says yes to whatever program or event that vision is undertaking, and that is indeed a rare quality. She has a deep commitment to the role of minister, and I am honored to call her colleague. Please welcome the Reverend Diane Russell.
I really did tell her to make up something. I said, make me sound interesting. So good morning, everybody. And you folks out there and wherever you are. If you've been following along, oh yeah, sorry, I buried, you couldn't see Reverend Patty, but this works much better for me. If you've been following along, you know that the theme for December is sticking the landing. In the first week, Reverend Patty spoke to us about the appearance of duality and reminded us to see as God sees, meaning see everything with love. She told us that the God of love cannot hear the prayer of someone who does not love. In the second week, Reverend Patty reminded us about our perfection, and she asked us, how could we be less than perfect? She reminded us to more completely express our divine spirit and not hide our brilliance. Last week, she told us, while we're on our journey, to live from our perfection and our wholeness, to get rid of the twos. She said too short, I would say too tall, and that there is always something new to do. Now that brings us to today. I want you to know that when John told me or sent me the theme for the month and I saw sticking the landing, what the heck is that? Because I had never heard that expression. And I pretty much thought that was the strangest combination of words ever. And I'll tell you, I am a master at strange combinations of words. But this was new to me. So I, of course, had to look it up, and it's really a thing. And that caused me to think, Well, every organization, every group of people, every industry, they all have combinations of words or phrases that make sense only to them. So around the time, but a little bit before I started studying ministry, I was working, or actually volunteering, on a tall ship in the Dana Point Harbor. The tall ship, that's it, right there. She had 14 sails, there's 137 lines, so not exactly what you would call a sleek racing machine. More like heavy and cumbersome. But one time we're out there, we got a nice blustery wind, we picked up some speed, we're kind of zooming, and the sailing master said, "The lady's got a bone in her teeth." What? And that was, again, another weird combination of words that made no sense to me at all. But that is really a thing. It meant we were going fast. This is the same man who said, or he was describing the night sky at sea, and he said, "It's as black as the inside of a cow." Who knows what that looks like? Anyway, that leads me to think about some word combinations that we use in our teaching. Many folks would not think that religious and science should go together. But that's really a thing because, first of all, it's been around for over 100 years, and second, because it's provable. It actually works. In the Science of Mind textbook, the very first line of the very first chapter, Dr. Holmes says, "We all look forward to the day when science and religion shall walk hand in hand through the visible to the invisible." He goes on to talk about how science, religion, intuition, reason, they all have a place, and yet they need to respect and learn from one another. Now, as you know, your thoughts are creative. Your thoughts are the form or the mold that create your life. So in the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Holmes says this: "In an iron foundry, the pig iron is thrown into a great furnace and it's melted. That which is solid becomes liquid and then poured into molds which are fashioned into different shapes. The iron itself neither knows nor cares what particular form it takes. It's formless. It's ready to take any form supplied. If we do not place it into the proper molds, the liquid would assume no particular shape. This is why it is in dealing with the subtle energy of spirit, the molds are made in our own minds through conscious and specific thought, purpose, and direction. We must be very careful not to think that because we make the mold, we must create the substance. The substance already exists. It is part of the life which we live, a part of the universal energy. So this is why it's so important to be diligent about what we think and what we allow into our thoughts. We're constantly making forms and molds for our lives. We need to be discerning. In fact, you are already receiving the results of your thoughts. So take a look at your life and see if you like what you're creating. And if not, start thinking something else right away. In this other adorable little book called This Thing Called You, Dr. Holmes says this. Hang on, there's something down here. Okay. "It's important that you maintain a strict censorship over your thinking. Just as you watch your garden, that foreign seeds shall not fall into it, producing a growth of undesirable plants, so you must refuse entrance to any thoughts that you do not wish to see manifest in your life. Guard well this garden of your mind. It is your garden of Eden, wherein may grow your fondest desires and hopes, blossoming into fulfillment. Or, if you permit, the weeds of destruction, fear, and doubt will choke out the beauty of hope until despair alone remains. Boy, that sounds grim. Watch carefully then this garden of your soul. Plant there only seeds of happiness, of joy, of peace, and goodwill. And I would add also to stay in the possibility and stay in gratitude. Another strange, possibly strange sounding word combination for someone that's not familiar with our teaching would be spiritual mind treatment. Sounds a bit out there, but it just describes how we it describes our form of prayer, which is always affirmative. In the Science of Mind textbook, this is in the glossary, he describes treatment as, this is his definition. Treatment is the time, the process, and the method necessary to changing our thought. Treatment is clearing the thought of negation, of doubt and fear, and causing it to perceive the ever-presence of God. In another place in the textbook, this chapter called Prayer, he answers this question. Someone asked the question, are prayers and treatments identical? And his answer was yes and no. Perfect. Dr. Holmes explains that if a prayer is coming from a realization of a person's unity with spirit, then it is a spiritual mind treatment. If, on the other hand, the prayer is to a God who has moods, whims, or favorites, then not so much a spiritual mind treatment. Has anyone here had an answered prayer? Yes. So see, it works. Can a change happen quickly? And the answer is absolutely. Remember last week, Micah had his miracle minute. The new decision was made the very next day. Our results depend on our faith, our beliefs, and the quality and the consistency of our thoughts. Dr. Holmes calls it the tendency of our thoughts. If we spend a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the evening with our affirmations, that's good. But the hours in between are in worry, fear, and gloom, or maybe spent watching the news. I didn't say anything. Or discussing stuff with your neighbors. Well, just guess what type of form you just created. Sometimes it appears that our prayers are not being answered. And why is that? Oh, glad you asked. I have 5 reasons. These are them. The first one is not recognizing the answer. So you have an answer to the prayer, but it doesn't look like you wanted. So you don't recognize it or you don't accept it. The second thing is that maybe we aren't praying correctly. And I don't mean that we have the right words, but Dr. Holmes says that it should always be life-affirming and harm no one. So, for example, if your prayer is that someone take a long walk off a short pier, that might not be life-affirming. The third thing is we're asking for what we don't want rather than what we do want. Dear God, I don't want to be lonely anymore. Dear God, please stop those bills. Instead of knowing our oneness or our abundance. Sometimes our request is not for our highest and best good. You're asking for a thing, and Spirit has something better in store for you. So leave your prayers loose so that it can be answered in an unexpected way. And then the last thing is possibly your prayer is unclear. Or maybe you fluctuate between your faith and your fear. So you plant the seed and then all of a sudden you dig it back up again. So your result may also be unclear. Any practitioners ever get a request for an unclear thing? Just asking. Okay, here's a pro tip. If you can distill your request down to an emotion or a feeling, that's even better. Because sometimes the thing that we're requesting, we think we're being clear, but the thing we're requesting is not really the thing we want. For example, you might be asking for financial abundance when what you really want is security. I'm particularly talking about prayers for yourself here. Now, just for 1 minute, you don't have to change the slide, but just for 1 minute, I want to go back to the ship. I was studying ministry while I was working on the ship, and I can tell you that there are a lot of life lessons while you're out at sea. We all took a turn on 4-hour watches. We had a turn driving the ship. And my experience was that if you wanted to stay the course, you would just pull right up to the resistance. You could feel the resistance in the water. You could feel the resistance against the rudder. But if you wanted to change course, you actually have to push through the resistance. Our lives are exactly like that. If you want to make a change, you must move through resistance. And the resistance, what is it? It could be old beliefs, it could be things from your family, or the twos that Rev. Patty spoke about. It could be this famous one, I'm not good enough, the one that we all share. Or it's fear, it's the warnings of your family and friends that are trying to protect you from something. It's your ego, it's procrastination. As you can see, there's plenty of resistance. Moving through it mainly requires us to remember that we are expressing Spirit in everything that we say, everything we do, every action we take. Now, you could say this to help. I sense my oneness with all life. I enter into the joy of conscious union with the infinite. There is one mind. This mind is God. This mind is my mind now. I am conscious of infinite peace, divine joy, and complete security. That prayer comes straight from this book, this thing called You. And that book, I forgot how much I love this book. It's so filled with brilliance and wisdom. And it's filled with affirmations and prayers. You might even find a favorite, like mine. I'm going to share with you. It's on page 68. Goes like this. Today and every day, I expect good. I anticipate meeting new friends. I joyously anticipate contacting new situations which will increase my livingness. My life is an adventure. I know that wonderful things are going to happen to me today. I know that everything I do shall turn into good for myself and for others. That's my favorite. Now, have you ever had the experience of seeing something, then realizing it isn't what you thought it was? For example, once I was driving home and I saw a man laying in the road. I was so worried, and as I got closer, I realized, oh, it's a roll of carpet. You might see a spider on your floor at home, and you realize that's just a little wad of thread. I feel like most of what's going on around us these days is like that. What we're seeing is not really what's there. As we get closer or look from a different perspective, we might see that it isn't what we thought at all. We are going through a change, a rebirth, if you will, and we will come out whole and new on the other side. We must believe that. The transformation may be messy, but the change will happen on an individual level as well as collectively. We must be prepared to do our own work, our interior work, to be prepared for what's the next thing to do. Years ago, I had a friend who would say, out of the chaos comes order. You pull everything out of the closet and you got a big pile of stuff. But then when you put it back in, it's nice and neat. You get rid of some stuff and so on. This is where we are now, individually and collectively. Now, it's not lost on me that we're a few days out from Christmas. There seem to be clues everywhere. I don't want you to think that that I wasn't going to mention Christmas. We've just had our shortest day of the year, which also means we've had our longest night. The long night is when we do our deep work. We go inside, we percolate, we make preparations for things to come. Now we're returning to the light. We are honoring the birth of the Christ consciousness in each of us. We are recognizing light, the light, in ourselves and in each other. Because that really is a thing. So here is something that I'm going to close with. It's called The Light That We Are. Remember the light that shone so bright on that night so long ago, announcing the birth of a babe in a manger. The birth, my friends, is the consciousness of Christ, the awareness of being one with the one. And that light is inside us, each one. We are the light that this hungry world needs. We are the ones with the answers. Just listen as it tells us what is ours to do. It calls us deep unto deep. The answer, now and always, is love and more love. And we are the ones who must give it. The best way to give love is simply to live it. The light of the Spirit is already in us. We just need to let it shine out. That impulse you have to do something kind is Spirit whispering to you, so go ahead and do it. As we gather with loved ones near or far, remember the light dwells within. It's in you and me and all that we see, for God created it all. Hail to the star, hail to the light, hail to the love we are born in. My wish for you today and every day after is to know very deep at your core that the love in the baby is the same love of Spirit that created us, one and all. Keep in your heart that you are that star. Do not hide your brilliance. let it shine. Let it lead the way as before. Be a beacon for others to follow with truth and with love as your guide. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ooh, that made me happy, Reverend Diane. Thank you. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry. You can only wear velvet like certain times of the year, and between velvet and that jacket, I'm going through my own personal menopause, which I didn't want to like make you all have to adjust to. So the jacket's coming off, and the red bra straps are in. This is my Christmas ensemble. So Tuesday, I went to, I had talked to John about, singing, and Tuesday I went to go hear my friend Ramey, who's one of the teachers at the School of Performing Arts, and he does a middle school, the kids are all this high, but he does a middle school program, and it was their final, and they need an audience, so I went to hear him, and they did this song, and afterward, I'm like, Ramey, the kids were great, I need that song for Sunday, so. And I love what you said, Reverend Diane, so this song is, I hope it helps everybody. We have a lot of stuff coming up in January. Our new president, Elon Musk, will be in. And anyway, I hope he hears this song and takes it to heart. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, sing it, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, oh, another day goes by, still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, sing it, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Key change, wait and see. Oh, if that's a helping hand and you will look around, put a little love in your heart. And when you go decide, kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, yeah. Put a little love in your heart, baby. Put a little love in your heart. Our children, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Sing it, Vision. Oh yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. I love you, Vision.
There's a lot of movement going on around here. Okay, so this is the time when we think about our conscious circulation. How that's going to look is that you're going to think about the abundance that you already have. I'm going to say we, the abundance we all already have. And how it can support Vision, and all the things that we do here, and all the people that we support in all different ways. So join me in prayer just for a second here, well, longer than a second. Know with me that there is one and only one. It is that spirit, that divine whatever, the thing itself, that one, which gives of itself freely, generously, and graciously. And because we are one with that, or one of it, we also give graciously and generously and from our hearts. And so I know that this giving and this time of giving is blessed and reverent and also joyful. I am grateful for each one for whatever they are able and willing to give. And I am grateful for the giving itself, the act of giving. With gratitude and with great thanksgiving, I release these words into the perfection of law, the perfection of love. And join me now in saying, and so it is. Again. So this would be the time for the Miracle Minute, but we don't have a miracle. There's miracles every day, but we don't have one to report on particularly, but you can always send one in to Reverend Patty. I think, you're still in here? It's still in here. Just checking. All right, so that brings us to yours and my favorite person.
Hello, everybody, and all those online. We continue our meet and greet right after our celebration. So join Michael Leslie and a practitioner for one-on-one prayer. So I don't know what you guys are doing Tuesday night, but we are doing something here on Tuesday night. Join Vision for our Christmas Eve celebration. It's always the best night of the year for us here. It's going to be fantastic. We have a 25-piece choir who's going to be here. The band is going to be here. We've got Andy Anderson, Nathan Fry, Mariah Angeline, and we also have a special guest, and I'm not telling you who, but you want to be here to see that as well. And Reverend Patty's going to be giving us our inspirational talk. So be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So Feeding America, we're continuing. This is the last week. This will be the last week that we're going to collect the foods, and we want non-perishables. Betty Brink has been putting that together. We already did one batch over to the Feeding San Diego, and if you want to do that, bring the non-perishables. We have the boxes available throughout the sanctuary and in the main area. So supporting the families in need, we did this holiday season. We have a bunch of fantastic clothes and gifts for that one family here locally. We're really excited about that. And if you'd like to help in wrapping the presents, we have a couple of volunteers, but we're going to be doing it in Marjorie's room. Thank you for doing that. And also, we're collecting still the blankets, the jackets, all kinds of stuff for those in Rosarita. So we want to thank everybody who supported us in that, whether it's a financial gift or gifts outside too. So thank you very much for that. And we're very excited about that. And we're going to be giving those gifts tomorrow to the family. And I'm really excited. I'm going to hopefully get some pictures out of it too. So that will be exciting. It's also the end of the year, so if you want to give a financial gift to Vision, we will always welcome that and thank you for that. Anything you want to give, money, car keys, house keys, no bills that come with those things, so just the goods, gold. So if you'd like to do that, it is a donation, and it's a year-end donation. You get to put in your taxes for the end of the year, so thank you. James Vandenberg, we have a couple classes starting up, don't we?
Yes, and starting in January, we have 3 classes in January. First, we have Foundations, which is going to be led by Reverend Patty. That'll be Thursday evenings. On Monday evenings, Cindy Britton and our vision practitioner, Catherine Flanagan, will be doing a new book study on Julie Cameron's latest book, Living the Artist Way. That's 6 weeks, and that's going to be on Monday nights. And then later in the month, we have a new mastery level class from Centers for Spiritual Living called The Mystical Path. And that'll be led by our own Reverend Dr. Lori Oberly Edwards. More on that later.
Very good. Thank you, James. Good stuff. So yeah, our education starts back up in January. We're busy. A lot of stuff going on. Next week, Reverend Patty will be back. Her talk title is Endings and Beginnings. It's appropriate for the end of the year. We have Lisa Sanders who's going to be with us. How about Ria Carey today? Love Ria. And Reverend Diane, thank you for your talk today, too. Wonderful job. Thank you. Larry, you wanted to say something about next week, some food or something? I think we have food. We always have food here. Cake, food, all kinds of good stuff. We do like food, don't we? Okay.
This is a wonderful, wonderful time of the year. I love it. People act differently. It's just amazing. What we're going to do for hospitality next week, because this time of the year is a celebration for many, many groups. So we're going to celebrate. If you celebrate Christmas, bring in Christmas food. If you celebrate Hanukkah, bring in Hanukkah food. And if you celebrate Kwanzaa, bring in Kwanzaa food. We are a diverse community. Bring in the food.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to say our affirmations. And the practitioners and the ministers are going to come right up here to be ready for prayer later. Okay, the very first one. We're ready? I am deliberate with my time and energy. My mind is clear, strong and focused. This is my time to shine. What? 3, I like 3. This is my time to shine. Woo. All right, so just join me one more time in consciousness as we know that there is that one powerful and beautiful and loving spirit which created each of us out of itself. We are that. We are the hands and feet and heart of God. And so we do things, we do beautiful, loving, giving things in our world. And we do them with love and with joy, with great compassion, and with fun, because that's who we are. I know that this time together is so powerful and meaningful, and it's a seed planted in us that grows and grows and grows. I know the best for everyone here. I know the best for each person receptive to it, that we accept the gift of God. And so right now, with a grateful heart, I allow these words to be complete, fulfilled in form. And together we say, and so it is.
Season to be jolly, la 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 la. John, we now are gay apparel, la 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 la. Trolling to Yuletide carol, la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la.